Secretary of State to come up, please.
Good evening. My name is David Chastain. I'm the Libertarian candidate for Secretary of State. Each of us that's standing before you this evening is interviewing for a job. It's a very awkward process when you think about it. First of all, I'd like to say something about the word politician and politics in general. Politics to a lot of people means multiple bloodsuckers. The truth of the matter is that politicians and politics is about public policy, the rules and regulations we live by. As Secretary of State, as a Libertarian, I don't get to make a whole lot of dictates. In fact, if you think about it, General Poitras, you never heard anything about him do anything big while he was Secretary of State. The Secretary of State has to work in the background to take all those policies that come from the legislature and all of the agencies and all the different things, even the state archives, and make sure it's all running smoothly, all running efficiently, at an affordable cost to Georgians all over the state. I am a logistics management analyst with a major defense contractor up in Marietta, Georgia. I understand what it's like to be accountable for your tax dollars. I do it on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that in the last 3 months, I've had my time audited twice. A person shows up, what are you working on? Are you charging to the correct account? That's the kind of mentality I would bring to this office. Is not so much the politics of the personalities as the policy of watching out for your tax dollars and making sure we're trying to be efficient. I will tell you that I've got a flyer on the back table, Chastain 2010. This lists some of the things that concern me at the moment. With all the state boards and agencies, it's hard to get into the specifics. But I will tell you this. One of my key concerns is the fact that we have a deep old electronic voting system that is fallible. I went to the state archives on December the 29th and checked 50 special purpose local option sales tax referendums. That's where you have one question on the ballot, yes or no. There's nobody else on it. On average, of the 53 SPLOST I actually checked, single question referendums, roughly 0.7% of the ballots go through blank. I found one Georgia county where 3.5% of the ballots that went through for blank. It's not because anybody's trying to trick the system or whatever. It's because we had a major government contract, we bought a lot of machines, and now they're not being maintained correctly. To me, right now, the most important thing for you is if you're going to tell your child that every vote counts, then I want to make sure that every vote gets counted. I'm David Chastain, Secretary of State, Libertarian.
My name is Angela Moore, and I am engaged in the race to become Georgia's next Secretary of State. I am running as a Democrat. But of course, we know that this office has to remain open and equal for everyone because the Secretary of State is in charge of counting everyone's votes ethically, clearly, authentically, and without bias. And of course, we haven't had that in the last several terms. I'm sure I agree with my Libertarian candidate. I'm going to ask him for his support as well. I am a small business owner. I have a small business. We staff medical personnel across the entire state of Georgia. Been doing it for 15 years. We are an award-winning company across the state. I am a mother of 3 children, 3 graduates from Georgia Public School System, 1 graduate from Georgia State, 1 who is currently in her first freshman year at Valdosta State University. And I'm really proud tonight because I'm here at Darton at my niece's college. You want to stand up and just wave? This is her first year here at Darton, and we're so proud of her that she made it here. She is a party girl, so we didn't anticipate her coming this far. And I'm only joking, but we are so proud of her that she is here. I am an award-winning Democrat with the DeKalb County Democratic Party. For the last 9 years, I have served on the board as State Senate Chair Advisor for the 92nd and the 42nd District. I have been the Communications Director for the Democratic Party as well. And I am very much interested in making sure that our votes are counted, probably like a lot of other people. But I think that I am in receipt of understanding a little bit more in detail about democracy and how it actually works and pertains to us here in the state of Georgia. We have spent a god-awful amount of money. We spent $159 million on equipment that does not, one, count our votes correctly, that is infallible, that we do not own the software. We own the hardware, and we do not have the codes to the software. I think that Georgia has enough talent here in the state of Georgia that we can go through the state and all of its educational universities and make sure that we own our own software. So I think that I would be the very first thing I would like to do is to go ahead and alleviate the current software owners of their responsibility to the state of Georgia. I am also the candidate who would like to bring an official world-class state-of-the-art museum here to the state of Georgia. We are in the heartbeat of the South, and we have a Coca-Cola museum, but we do not have a museum that tells the entire story of Georgia. And I would ask for your vote. I'd like for you to go to my website at moreforgeorgia.com and look at my objectives for Georgia. They are very succinct, and I would appreciate your vote. I'm Angela Moore.
Hello, my name is Kyle Constable. Just a brief introduction about myself here. I'm the chairman of the Lee County Teen Republicans. I'm a blogger and I'm very politically active. I'm speaking here on behalf of Doug McGinnity, candidate for state secretary. I support Doug for quite a few reasons. First off, he's had quite a bit of experience over the years that he's been around. He's a Sandy Springs City Councilman right now. He was an attorney, he's a businessman, and he has lots of experience that he can bring to the office of Secretary of State. He is not your typical politician. He has not been around the block like some of these other people have, and he's going to bring a unique perspective to the office of Secretary of State. When we're looking at the issues in this race, there are a few major things that we have to look at. One thing that Doug McGinnity would like to do is he would like to help small businesses get started and make the process easier. He's going to streamline the licensing process for small businesses to start. This will make things a lot easier for small businesses to start, which creates 75% of the jobs here in Georgia. Not only that, he's going to work to reduce the unnecessary obstacles in the way of small businesses across the state. Essentially, he's going to work to boost the number of job opportunities for Georgians. Not only that, he works to protect the rights of our heroes, our soldiers overseas to vote. There have been so many problems for some of these people to get their ballots in and to have their votes counted. He is going to work to make these absentee ballots more accessible to them and make more of them counted. Those have been some major problems that we have seen in our system, and Doug McGinnity is ready to fight that. He's launched a website, it's a petition, helpheroesvote.com. Check it out, sign up. Let's fight to give these military veterans their right to have their vote counted. And the final thing that he wants to work for is fair and honest elections. He is willing to fight organizations that disrupt the democratic process, such as Acorn. Acorn is out there putting out false voter registrations and false ballots, and he's going to fight them so that we have fair elections. And he wants to work to replace these voting machines that are around the state that are causing all of these problems. And he is ready to get the job done. Doug has 5 guiding principles: ethical leadership, lower taxes, less spending, limited government, and individual freedom. It is these principles that will lead him in the office of Secretary of State. And that is why we need him in the office of Secretary of State. Of the last 15 straw polls taken across the state, he's won 13 of them. Georgians agree. He is the best candidate for state secretary. Support Doug McGinnity today, because for one, he's a great guy. I've had the opportunity to meet him, and I am honored to say that I've had that privilege. He's committed, and he's tired of business as usual, just like you. So I ask you to vote Republican and vote for Doug McGinnity for Secretary of State. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates.